good to be here with you guys. Gonna wait for some people to come in and and get it on the feed. And the reason why I'm here today is because I want to talk to you about the importance of mental health in quarantine, and more importantly, the importance of mental health just in general. I think um, make a news report. I've been chosen. Okay. I think that the conversation of mental health is something that is super important. More people don't talk about mental health because there is still a stigma behind it. So I want to talk to you guys about my experience with mental health and just what I've been doing now in quarantine, and also what we're seeing in pop culture when it comes to mental health, because more and more celebrities are speaking out about it, more and more YouTube videos, streams like this, articles, people on every platform across social media is having the conversation. And I think that more people need to have the conversation because it is something that affects 17.1 million people here in America. And that's just from a study that was taken in 2017. Guaranteed, there is more people that are affected by everyday stressors and things that cause deterioration to your mental health. So I want to have a conversation about that. So I'm just waiting for more people to come in. I want to say hi to people. Hey, Ellie, hi, Amber, yo, Peter, what's going on? Lucia, how you doing? Those are other HAPS journalists and people that work for HAPS that are tuning in. And again, thank you so much for being here. Again, my name is Jason Carter. I'm a journalist. I'm a host and television personality here in Miami, Florida, and just happy to be here with you guys today. Let me tell you about my own struggles. Hi, Liza. My own struggles with mental health. I am 40 years old, and I am LGBTQ plus, black male. I'm married to a loving husband, have two kids, and a dog who's sitting right here. Her name is Valentina. I would get her in on the live broadcast, but she's a little antisocial unless there's like a snackety or a treat involved. And growing up, I was originally from Albuquerque, New Mexico. So let's go through some of the comments here too as well. And growing up gay, you experience a lot of things. When you're younger, you don't know what you're experiencing. You don't know what you're feeling, but you know you feel different, right? Add in a lot of different socioeconomical elements and the way you're brought up or the environment or the climate of your household, that can also add added layers to how you develop and how you see the world, how your self-esteem is shaped, how you see yourself and your worth. It all starts from when you're young. I mean, we all know that the things that happen to you when you're younger are very impressionable, and believe it or not, they stay with you and manifest and reemerge well into your 20s, your 30s, and well into your 40s and even your 50s. So for myself, I had a lot of self-esteem issues. I was a dancer. I was involved in entertainment. So with that came a lot of judgment, a lot of criticism about what you are and what you aren't, and you internalize that as a young adult. So that stuck with me throughout high school and well into college. Throughout high school, I was on television, I was on the radio. So again, being in the public eye, you have to hide a lot of things by yourself because back in the early 2000s, talking about homosexuality and LGBTQ plus wasn't something that people did a lot of. Growing up, the only things I saw on television, which is our mirrors to the world, was either gay men that were dying of AIDS, which was a very real thing, or they were disowned by their friends and family. Nothing positive. There was nothing positive about being LGBTQ plus, at least in my comeuppance, that was readily available to me or what I saw on television. Again, our mirrors to the world. So, I had depression. I was depressed because I felt different and I was scared. I was scared because here I am, different from everyone, knowing that I am something that people see as wrong, dirty, sinful, evil, all these things that you attach to yourself, and you have no one to talk to about it. So I went into a deep depression, and there's ways to cope with that. I would stay busy. I would be very active. I would overachieve. All these coping mechanisms I used to hide the fact that I was suffering. It wasn't until I was clinically depressed from the ages of 18 to 24 that I got help. And that came from me being in a closeted relationship because I wasn't out, of a closeted abusive relationship. and me knowing I needed to get help, me knowing that there was something I needed to fix something. And I hate to use the word fix because there was nothing wrong with me per se, but I needed help. Hey guys, I needed help to get over this because even though the sun was shining, like I'm here in Miami, Florida, it's a beautiful day. I was so dark inside, right? I couldn't see, the sun wasn't shining. It was so hard to just get through the day. So I went and saw a therapist, and that began my journey of coming back from the brink. And I will admit, I was suicidal. I was. So I got on SSRIs, antidepressants, Lexapro, Zoloft, Paxil, Wellbutrin, you name them. There's so many. For me, it was Lexapro, which is the branded version. The generic is a citalopram. I think that's how you say it. I always get tongue tied saying that, but it helped me figure things out, and it helped me realize that, oh my gosh, self care is so important. So fast forward 2020, here we are. Unprecedented times, you guys. Unprecedented times of what we're experiencing. COVID, March of this year, being quarantined all over the world, thousands dying, millions affected, and having your life completely upended and stopped. No more going to the gym. No more dinners, no more date nights, no more movies. Everything that you've grown accustomed to is now done. Now you are to shelter in place at home. You can't have contact with anyone. And for a lot of people, being active, of course, well, for many people, being active and connection is crucial. It's life-giving, right? It's like Superman in the sun. He gets his energy from the sun. People get their energy from connecting with people like we're doing here. And so you're stuck at home watching the news, and every day, I got to tell you, from March 17th is when they quarantined everyone in Los Angeles, where I was prior to coming to Miami. It rained nonstop. It rained nonstop. And it was the most depressing time ever. And then you're watching the news and you're seeing, people losing their jobs, businesses going out of business. Just, I mean, lines at the grocery store, the toilet paper, run on toilet paper. Just you don't know what to expect. All the while trying to navigate this silent killer that you can't see. And so that's going to elicit and cause anxiety and stress, especially for those people who are living alone or elderly or are in a new city. And a lot of people started to realize that, oh my gosh, I am experiencing some kind of low grade depression. Michelle Obama talked about that recently, about having low grade depression, which is very real. And some people don't even know they're depressed. We live in such a go, go, go society where we have to always be hustling. Hustle culture is real, you guys. Hustle culture is real. Achieve. There was a meme that went around that says, in quarantine, if you haven't developed a side hustle or worked on something, you didn't lack time, you lack discipline, which I disagree with that. As someone who has hustled like a mofo his whole life, I can tell you the detrimental effects that that's had on me because you don't get a time to rest, right? So, Amber, that's a great question. I'm gonna get to it in just a second. I love that you asked that question. So people didn't realize that, oh my gosh, I'm a little depressed, right? They didn't realize that I'm experiencing something that's new to me. Amber Young below asked, what are some of the warning signs of being depressed that you experience or know of? For myself, and again, before I go on, I'm not a physician. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychotherapist or a psychologist. I can only speak from my own personal experience. That's so do not take any of this as mental advice. And Hafsner and myself are responsible for any kind of medical advice that you think you're getting here. You're not getting medical advice. You're getting a real account of my own personal experience as someone who's survived depression. Um, the signs for myself were lethargy, lack of motivation, aches and pains, never-ending negative thoughts, right? Hopelessness. Those are also that's one of the big ones I would think. Irritability, aggravation, easily aggravated. Those are some of the things that I've experienced with depression. So people are experiencing those things as well, not being motivated to get out of bed because they don't know what's going to happen. I think that the conversation around mental health, especially in the Black community, has been something that has been kind of taboo because historically, Black men, especially, we're going to talk about the LGBTQ plus component of it because that's a whole other layer. But Black men, especially, have been told to be these strong, unwavering, hyper masculine, powerful beings that don't experience these things. You don't talk about those. You don't talk about mental health. That's a white person's thing. That's a white thing. We don't talk about that. And if you are experiencing that, fix it, Jesus. Get in church. God, Jesus, God, whoever you believe in, will take care of it. It's all in your head. Which really it is all in your head because depression is a lack of serotonin and different chemicals that are imbalanced. But from a societal view and from just the conversations that happen in communities, get over it. Which is the worst thing you can tell somebody, right? Which is the worst thing you can tell someone that is experiencing any kind of depression, bipolar disorder, anything, any mental health issue is just to get over it. Because if we could, damn it, we would, right? If we could flip a switch and have it done, go away. We would absolutely do that. We would want nothing more. We've prayed for days and a way to do that. So, celebrities have opened up now more than ever, which I think is a good thing because believe it or not, even in 2020, we still look to celebrity as the playing field for what's acceptable. We still look to celebrities to give us guidance. And some do effectively, wholeheartedly, authentically. They do give us guidance. But we look to them to be the approval system of what we can talk about and what we should talk about. Justin Bieber, one of my own personal favorites who I've loved and adored my whole life, Mariah Carey, cover of People magazine, I'm bipolar. Kanye West, as we know, Kanye West, as of late, as of just in the past month, has been the conversation of mental health. Halsey, Demi Lovato, Ariana Grande, Selena Gomez, Beyonce, the list goes on and on and on and on of celebrities who have now said, wait, 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 I'm not going to suffer in silence anymore. I'm not going to suffer in silence. So people now in quarantine are asking, well, I'm experiencing all this newness. It's so weird here. This is so unfamiliar to me. Am I crazy? Asking themselves the question, am I crazy? And as someone who has been there, I'm here to say you're not crazy. What we're experiencing has in my lifetime, and I'm sure in millions of other people, of course, has never happened before. We're going to look back in this generation and think back to COVID in 2020 as what the F happened in a matter of days. I was in the Young Turks, which is one of the best and online news, and I had said this is an epidemiological nightmare waiting to happen in February. 2 weeks later, that's exactly what happened. So we are experiencing something like that we've never ever had to go through as a society. So yeah, it's going to be a little traumatizing. And I use the word trauma and traumatizing not lightly because it is. It's not dramatic to say you're traumatized because we are to some degree. But now we have to take that and realize that self-care and protecting your mental health is paramount. However you do that. For myself, it's disconnecting from social media because we now have more time to scroll. We now have more time to um, look and absorb the crazy things that are happening. Peter asks, what lessons have you learned from confronting mental health challenges that could be applicable to others now in the era of quarantine? Great question, Peter. Glad you asked that. One of the lessons I've learned is to, one, admit that you are feeling some kind of way. Admit that you are depressed. Admit that you are feeling out of sorts. That's the first step. Don't deny it. You are as you feel. If you know yourself in and out like the back of your hand intrinsically, inherently, you have a sound thermometer and barometer of who you are and how you should feel on a daily basis. Yeah, you have days where you're stressed. Yeah, you have days where things are a little bit much. But if that's ongoing for days and weeks and months, there's something going on there, right? So one, confronting the fact that you feel different. Two, asking for help. I think that is the biggest thing, is because people don't. They're afraid. Again, there's a stigma attached. You are less than if you are experiencing these things. And that comes from just culture, or things that you've seen, or what you've grown up being told. But ask for help. For myself, it was doing the research. We have at our disposal unlimited amounts of data and knowledge now readily available on a place called Google, which was born on my birthday in 2003, September 27th. And that can give you so many endless tools to finding out what you can do, resources. I wish I had a list of places you can go, and I had them off the top of my head. I don't. I'll tweet them. But there, as far as, and in quarantine also, reach out to people. We go back to self-care, right? We have now been able to correspond via Zoom, which is blown up overnight, of course. Instagram Live, what we're doing here on Haps. Reach out to people. Reach out to people that you feel comfortable talking to. Because I think another thing that helped me was being vocal about it. Was saying, hey, I've been feeling this way for a while. I don't know what's going on. What do you think I should do? With someone who you trust, and that is a safe space. A lot of people don't have safe spaces right now because they are either isolated, or they are fearful. So that's one thing that you can do as well. And for myself, what helped was taking the medication. And people have, very strong opinions, very deep reservations in regards to medication. In 2000, in the 2000s, the 90s, Prozac was laughed at as, oh my God, you're on Prozac, you're crazy. But those are world-class drugs that have helped millions of people. They've helped me. So if that is the road that is taken for you, then that's okay. It's okay. They help people. They're created for a reason. So we shouldn't be afraid of that. Or if you want to go a holistic route, whatever works for you. Subzi asks, how do you deal with depression at work? How do you get management to understand it and make accommodations? First and foremost, there are laws that aid you in that, right? There are laws that protect you when you go to your manager and say, hey, I need this. Also, your psychiatrist or your doctor or your physician or your medical professional, whoever you go to, can assist you with that as well. I've had accommodations made for my anxiety and depression. So whatever, I'm not sure what state you guys are in states, California, they're very employee friendly, sorry. There are laws that protect you. So I would definitely have conversations with your management, because it's real. And if you don't feel comfortable having conversations with management, I'm not sure what corporations you work in, or what environments you move through. HR is available. There are resources. Companies are absolutely aware and abreast of mental health right now more than ever. Amber says side effects of medications often deter people. Wish there were less side effects. That's the double-edged sword there. For myself, it was weight gain. There is a, sorry, I keep saying, you guys, my crutch, I need to stop it. I apologize. There are definitely side effects, sexual side effects for men and women, weight gain, sleepiness, sleeplessness, insomnia, but those tend to taper off the longer you're on the medication, whatever one you choose. It's like when you work out, you're going to be sore, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. Same thing with anything you do, medications in the same vein. Sadly, in this country, Get Happy says, sadly, in this country, most psychiatry isn't covered under health insurance. That is true, but also companies have their own programs, their employee assistance programs that aid you in psychiatry. Psychiatry is, your psychiatrist, my psychiatrist didn't cover insurance by a personal choice, not because the insurance company didn't. They just chose not to be in network. So you can find psychiatrists that are in network with your insurance that'll take care, or allow for cheaper co-pays, or find ways to finance or fund your trips to your doctor if you choose to. Peter asks, what are some of your new coping methods or routines now during quarantine? Great, I was just going to get to that, Peter. Awesome question. Thank you for that. For myself, and someone had pointed out here, fitness, being active. taking your mind off. For myself, I was a dancer. I love to work out. Fitness is a great way